5 travel dangers that could ruin your life after 70. What every senior must know before booking a trip. Have you ever stopped to wonder whether traveling after the age of 70 is still a wise idea? While exploring new places and immersing yourself in different cultures can be incredibly enriching, there are serious risks that many older adults don't anticipate until they are already in the middle of them. As we grow older, both our bodies and minds undergo subtle but significant changes that can make travel far more exhausting, unpredictable, and at times even dangerous. Many seniors assume they can keep up the same travel pace they enjoyed in their younger years. But the reality is that after 70, traveling presents unique challenges, ones that can quickly turn a dream vacation into a stressful, even life-threatening ordeal. In this video, we'll uncover 5 critical reasons why traveling after 70 can be riskier than you think, from unexpected medical emergencies to hidden financial pitfalls that can quietly drain your life savings. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of why travel at this stage of life requires more caution, more planning, and what you can do to stay safe if you still choose to go on that next adventure. 1. Why medical emergencies are more dangerous after age 70, especially when traveling. After age 70, every trip becomes more than just a journey, it becomes a full-body stress test. Many older adults feel perfectly fine at home, following a familiar routine. But the moment they board a plane, change time zones, face dry cabin air, or miss a night's sleep, hidden health issues can suddenly surface. A sharp chest pain mid-flight, breathlessness after a short walk in Europe, or a dizzy fall at the airport, these aren't rare occurrences. I've seen all of them in real clinical practice. Think of the aging body like a once efficient machine, where every system now runs with its own degree of lag and wear. Cardiovascular, blood vessels lose elasticity, making blood pressure spikes more likely with altitude or temperature changes. Respiratory, lungs don't expand as well, making it harder to breathe in the thin air of an airplane cabin. Renal, kidneys lose efficiency, increasing the risk of dehydration even without the usual sensation of thirst. Thermal regulation, the body no longer adapts quickly to temperature changes, making heat exhaustion or cold sensitivity more likely. Endocrine and metabolism, sleep-wake cycles get disrupted, and blood sugar becomes harder to regulate under travel stress. The problem? Many of these issues stay hidden at home, only to show up when the body is pushed to adapt quickly in unfamiliar conditions, a kind of full-body stress that younger people can shake off, but older adults often can't. I once consulted with a case that left a lasting impression. Mr. James Howard, 74, a retired businessman, booked a direct flight from New York to Paris with his wife. Everything went smoothly until the second night abroad, when he developed chest tightness and mild shortness of breath. A visit to a French hospital confirmed a mild heart attack. Here's the kicker: just 6 months earlier, he had passed a cardiac stress test with flying colors. After reviewing his case, it was clear that the cause wasn't a hidden heart condition, it was the combination of travel stressors. Dehydration from not drinking water during the flight. Missed heart medications due to time zone confusion. Physical overexertion from walking more than usual. One small, stable plaque in his artery became unstable under those circumstances and triggered an event. The good news? Most travel-related health risks can be minimized with the right preparation. Here are strategies I often recommend to older patients before traveling. Get a full checkup before you go. Not just basic vitals, get a heart ultrasound and blood work if you have a cardiac history. Make sure your body can handle altitude, long flights, and time zone changes. Plan your medications. Use a pill organizer, set reminders, smartwatch, phone app, and bring backup meds like pain relievers, antacids, or sleep aids. Buy travel insurance with global medical coverage. Look for plans that include emergency airlift services, and international medical evacuation can cost up to $50,000 without it. Avoid sitting too long on flights. Get up every 1 to 2 hours, stretch, and consider compression socks to lower your risk of DVT, deep vein thrombosis. Know your medical backup. Save the address of reputable hospitals at your destination. Keep your medical records and prescriptions with you, ideally with an English translation if traveling abroad. From a medical standpoint, I don't discourage travel for seniors. I encourage smart, well-prepared travel. With the right planning, your journeys after 70 can be not just safe, but deeply rewarding and unforgettable. 2. Immune decline after 70 and the hidden infection risks of travel most people don't expect. After age 70, illnesses that seem minor like the flu or a stomach bug can quickly turn a dream vacation into a hospital stay. Many older adults and their families assume, as long as we're careful, we'll be fine. But the reality is, once you're in a constantly changing environment surrounded by strangers, eating unfamiliar foods, sleeping at odd hours, the risk of infection doesn't just rise, it becomes more serious and harder to recover from. The immune system in older adults isn't what it used to be. One major reason is the natural shrinking of the thymus gland, the organ responsible for producing T cells, which are crucial for fighting off infections. This decline begins in midlife and becomes more significant with age. On top of that, B cells also lose their ability to create new antibodies. The result? Seniors not only react more slowly to bacteria and viruses, but their immune responses are also less effective. Infections can spread faster and last longer. There's another layer to this, a phenomenon called inflammaging chronic, low-grade inflammation that keeps the immune system in a kind of constant, distracted state. It's like your body's internal security team is always on high alert for the wrong things and fails to spot new threats, like unfamiliar bacteria in tap water or airborne viruses on crowded flights. I'll never forget my patient Evelyn, age 79, who joined a group tour to Mexico. She was incredibly careful. She didn't drink tap water and washed her hands regularly. But one beautifully arranged salad, rinsed in local water, was enough to trigger a severe E. coli infection that landed her in the hospital for 6 days. When she returned to the US, her daughter told me, heartbroken, "We never imagined a plate of raw veggies could almost take her life." Sadly, Evelyn's story isn't rare. Even celebrities face these risks. Oprah Winfrey once shared in an interview that she had to cancel an entire week of appearances after suffering from a serious intestinal infection following a trip to Africa despite meticulous planning. Illness doesn't discriminate whether you're a billionaire or a retiree. No one is completely immune. That's why older travelers need to take proactive, protective steps to minimize the risk of infection on the road. Here are my core recommendations. White heavy checkmark: stay up to date on vaccinations. Talk to your doctor about flu, pneumonia, shingles, and any location-specific vaccines, like hepatitis A or typhoid. White heavy checkmark: avoid untreated food and water. That means no raw vegetables, No ice from unknown sources, and drink only bottled or properly filtered water. White heavy checkmark. Bring a mini medicine kit. Include antibiotics, antidiarrheal meds, rehydration salts, antiseptic wipes, and a thermometer. White heavy checkmark. Limit time in crowded or poorly sanitized places. This includes street food markets, busy restrooms, and tightly packed tour buses. White heavy checkmark. Strengthen your immune system before you go. Prioritize sleep, hydration, whole foods, and immune-supporting nutrients like vitamin D, zinc, and probiotics. Aging may change how your body defends itself, but it shouldn't stop you from exploring the world. What it should do is shift your mindset from spontaneity to smart strategy. When you travel with the right knowledge and preparation, aging doesn't hold you back. It becomes your greatest teacher, reminding you to live deeper, more intentionally, and above all, safely each time you step beyond the comfort of home. 3. Fatigue and weakness after 70, the hidden burden of travel. Most people think that feeling tired after a long flight or a few busy days on vacation is no big deal, that a quick nap will fix it. But for adults over 70, fatigue isn't just about missing sleep. It's a complex response that can lead to brain fog, imbalance, irregular heartbeat, and even collapse from sheer exhaustion. Everyday actions like climbing a few stairs, lifting a suitcase, or waiting in line at the airport can become overwhelming challenges for a body that's been working hard for decades. What makes it dangerous is how this kind of fatigue builds up quietly hour by hour until it suddenly hits. And it often happens in the worst places: the airport, a hotel lobby, or right in the middle of a sightseeing tour. As we age, our cellular energy systems, especially mitochondria, begin to slow down. Think of mitochondria as the body's internal power plants. After 70, they don't produce energy as efficiently, so it takes much longer to recover from stress, poor sleep, or physical exertion. On top of that, the body's circadian rhythm, sleep-wake cycle, is more easily disrupted by changes in time zones. Strange hotel rooms, background noise, nighttime trips to the bathroom, and chronic aches can all chip away at deep, restorative sleep, the kind of sleep that repairs both the body and mind. I once treated a patient named Richard, aged 75, who traveled to Rome with his wife. For the first 2 days, he felt a little tired and blamed it on jet lag. But on day 3, he fell asleep mid-tour, became dizzy, and was rushed to the hospital. Doctors in Italy discovered he had mild sleep apnea, made worse by dehydration and poor sleep. He had to cut his trip short, lost thousands of dollars, and spent the next month recovering back home. Preventing travel exhaustion isn't difficult, but it does require smart planning and respect for your body's limits. Here are my key recommendations. White heavy checkmark. Break up long travel days. If possible, choose flights with layovers instead of non-stop 10 to 12-hour journeys. This gives your body time to move, rest, and adjust more gently. White heavy checkmark. Keep a light itinerary. Aim for just 1 to 2 main activities per day, and always pick places with seating or rest areas. You're not there to check boxes, you're there to enjoy. White heavy checkmark. Protect your sleep. Bring your plugs, a sleep mask, a travel pillow, melatonin, if approved by your doctor, or a white noise machine to improve sleep in unfamiliar environments. White heavy checkmark. Stay hydrated and eat regularly. Many older travelers forget to drink water or skip meals, which can cause blood sugar crashes, fatigue, and dizziness. White heavy check mark: schedule downtime before and after trips. Avoid working or social events the day before or after traveling. Your body needs space to adapt and recover. As Elon Musk once said, you can't perform well when you're running on empty and haven't slept. For older adults, every trip is a major undertaking, not just emotionally, but physically. And it requires more than excitement. It demands careful preparation and deep listening to your body's signals. Fatigue isn't just in your head. It's a red flag. If you ignore it, you risk more than missing out on beautiful memories. You could be gambling with your most valuable asset, your health. 4. Falls while traveling after 70, a silent risk with lasting consequences. For younger adults, a slip might mean nothing more than a scraped knee or a bruise. But for someone over 70, one simple fall can result in a broken hip, a traumatic brain injury, or even permanent loss of mobility. This isn't a worst-case scenario, it's something I've seen hundreds of times in the ER. After age 65, several critical systems that help with balance begin to decline. Muscle mass and reflexes weaken, making it harder to step up or down curbs or stairs. Bone density drops silently. Osteoporosis makes bones more fragile, even without noticeable symptoms. Vision declines, especially the ability to adjust between bright and dim lighting. Quick changes in lighting can throw off your balance. Medications like blood pressure pills, sedatives, and sleep aids can increase dizziness, especially when combined with dehydration or jet lag. On top of that, traveling introduces unfamiliar environments: slippery hotel lobbies, stairs without railings, shiny marble floors that multiply the risk. I'll never forget Mrs. Linda, aged 78, an energetic woman who prided herself on staying fit and independent. During her dream trip to Florence, Italy, she slipped on a wet cobblestone sidewalk after a light afternoon rain. She fractured her hip, required emergency surgery, and spent the next 9 months in rehab. Half the time was spent in a hospital back home in the US, confined to a wheelchair, needing help with daily tasks. That one fall didn't just ruin her trip, it changed the independent lifestyle she had worked so hard to maintain. Linda's story isn't rare. Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, once said in an interview that he takes extra care when traveling abroad after watching a healthy friend in his 70s break a wrist in a hotel without handrails. Technology can help, he said, but one fall can take years of quality life away. Preventing falls doesn't require high-tech gear, it requires mindful planning and a shift in mindset before the trip even begins. Here are practical strategies I recommend to all older travelers. White heavy checkmark: book senior-friendly accommodations. Look for hotels with elevators, well-lit rooms, bathrooms with grab bars, and non-slip floors. Avoid places with high steps or polished surfaces. White heavy checkmark: wear non-slip shoes with good traction and arch support. Avoid smooth-soled shoes or open-back sandals. If needed, use orthopedic insoles prescribed by your podiatrist. White heavy checkmark: bring a foldable cane or walker. Don't let pride get in the way of safety. Overconfidence is a common cause of preventable injuries. White heavy checkmark: avoid excursions with steep stairs or uneven terrain. Choose tours with shuttle options or accessible walking paths whenever possible. White heavy checkmark: use smart watches with fall detection, like Apple Watch. Especially helpful if you're traveling solo or separate from your group. These can alert emergency contacts and pinpoint your location if something goes wrong. We often think of travel as a reward in our later years. But without proper preparation, one fall can cost more than money. It can steal years of independence, freedom, and confidence. Don't let a slippery step or the wrong shoes ruin your dream of seeing the world. Be cautious, not fearful, so you return home healthy, whole, and ready for the next adventure. 5 Financial pitfalls of traveling in your golden years. A silent risk with serious consequences. Many older adults believe that having Medicare or a private health insurance plan means they are fully covered in any medical situation, even while traveling abroad. Unfortunately, that couldn't be further from the truth. Medicare and most domestic health insurance plans do not cover any medical expenses incurred outside of the United States, especially costly emergencies like air ambulance transport or urgent surgeries. A single fall, heart attack, or sudden infection overseas can quickly rack up tens of thousands of dollars in out-of-pocket expenses. According to the U.S. Travel Insurance Association, emergency air transport from South America back to the U.S. can cost anywhere from $20,000 to $80,000, and that doesn't even include the hospital bills from the country where it happened. After 70, people become not only more physically vulnerable but also more psychologically trusting. Many seniors fall victim to offers that sound too good to be true: special deals, 5-star hotels at bargain prices, or authentic local tours. These scams have grown increasingly sophisticated and are targeted directly at older travelers. To make matters worse, some seniors aren't as familiar with digital tools or verifying online information, which makes them more likely to fall for fake hotel listings, phony travel agencies, or phishing scams that steal credit card details. I once worked with a patient named George, 76, who had spent months saving for a dream vacation to a tropical island. He booked what looked like a professional hotel website, only to arrive and discover the hotel didn't exist. He lost over $2,500 and had to book a last-minute stay elsewhere at double the price. Ashamed, he didn't tell his children and had to dip into his retirement savings. That wasn't just a financial loss, it was a painful blow to his trust and confidence in his later years. Another patient told me, "They saw I had a cane. I must have looked lost. They knew I couldn't run after them." She had her wallet stolen in a crowded European train station, a spot where criminal groups frequently target older tourists. Avoiding financial disasters while traveling isn't hard, but it requires planning, awareness, and caution. White heavy checkmark: buy comprehensive travel insurance with coverage for international medical emergencies and evacuation. White heavy checkmark: only book through verified, reputable platforms, like Expedia, Booking.com, or directly with well-known hotel chains. White heavy checkmark: avoid carrying large amounts of cash. White heavy checkmark: notify your bank about your travel plans to prevent account freezes or suspicious activity blocks. White heavy checkmark: share your travel itinerary and hotel details with a family member or trusted friend. When you look at how successful people like Jeff Bezos or Oprah Winfrey approached life, there's one theme: they always invest in protection, from expert advice to insurance and personal safety before entering risky environments. Travel in your golden years should be treated the same way. Not because you're fragile, but because you've lived long enough to know that one careless moment can have long-lasting consequences. There's no gift more valuable than peace of mind, especially when you're out there exploring the world, one meaningful step at a time. As we've seen, aging doesn't cancel your passport, it just rewrites your itinerary. The truth is, travel after 70 isn't impossible. But it does require a new mindset, one that trades spontaneity for strategy, pride for preparation, and thrill-seeking for thoughtful planning. Because the real joy of travel at this stage in life isn't about how many places you check off your list. It's about how present, how safe, and how alive you feel while you're there. So before your next trip, here's your 3-step action plan. 1. Get medically cleared. Schedule a full checkup, including heart and immune health. 2. Pack smart. Bring the right meds, footwear, documents, and medical contacts. 3. Protect yourself. Get real travel insurance, verify bookings, and share your plans with family. And above all, listen to your body. Fatigue, dizziness, or confusion aren't annoyances, they are warnings. As Oprah Winfrey once said, when you know better, you do better. And now that you know what's at stake, you have the power to travel better, live longer, and make every journey truly worth it. Stay wise, stay safe, and keep exploring with confidence.